Not all days have been as bright as this. Since Jasmine was 8, she struggled with her mental health. It was not until she was a teenager that she was diagnosed with severe OCD, an anxiety disorder where, in this case, a child has obsessive thoughts and compulsive behaviours.
I used to call it the monster because it was like being a prisoner of my own mind. OCD is very time-consuming disorder because there's so many rituals, so many compulsions. It really got in the way of my life. I think sometimes it would be about half an hour before I could even step out my door.
A government survey reveals that anxiety is rising in all school year groups in Jersey, particularly in Year 12 girls. Indeed, around half of girls in Year 10 and 12 said they feel very anxious. A third of school children in the same 2 year groups have considered self-harm, with girls twice as likely. Most worryingly, 80% of children that thought about deliberately hurting themselves then went on to do it. One mental health charity in Jersey told me the pandemic has made things worse and the levels of need are high.
What we want to do is educate them around recognising that there are other ways to cope with emotions other than self-harm, and if they are using self-harm, to keep them safe within doing it. But really what we'd like to do is support young people to make sure that they're finding the best ways of coping for themselves.
The issue has been brought into sharp focus as the community grieves the loss of 14-year-old JCG student Kezia Mason, who took her own life. More than £100,000 has been raised for teenage mental health support in her memory. At JCG's sister school, Victoria College, special sessions are being put on for parents to help them understand how they can support their children. After the death of Kezia, how much of a priority would you say mental health needs to become in schools?
I mean, it's huge, and it was incredibly tragic circumstances and a very tragic event, and our thoughts and prayers are with everybody at this time. But it's really brought to light that it is a really high priority, making sure that young people feel supported, feel physically and mentally well. And if we get that right, then achievements and outcomes will flow from that.
Jasmine is now walking across the island to fundraise for anyone who finds themselves on the same difficult path.
Yeah, I never thought there was going to be that light at the end of the tunnel, and I think just now being at the end of it, I'm so grateful that how much I persevered, and that recovery is possible. I'm going to end on that.
A message of hope for any young person struggling in the islands. Annie Nolson, ITV News.